I was like, well, now that verse even means is more powerful and more meaningful.
Yeah, it's like if you want to consider yourself a living sacrifice, you would just do like Paul. I was crucified with Christ. It's no
Yes.
longer I who live; it's Christ who lives
Yeah.
lives in me. And this life I live now in the flesh, I live by the faith of God and not the faith of man. And that you've considered yourself a living sacrifice now,
Yeah, right.
because you're still alive.
Yeah.
But now you've considered the old man dead.
Yeah, right. That's
Right?
the sacrifice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was so powerful. So
I love
very,
that.
very powerful.
I love that. And it's real easy to see when you read verse 2, because verse 2 is an expounding on verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
He says even and we see and so we think it's an addition.
Right.
But it even, and then he explains what a living sacrifice. Even be not conformable to the wisdom of the world. Right?
Yes.
That's what it would mean to consider yourself a living sacrifice. See yourself as crucified with Christ to the wisdom of the serpent that's come into the world.
Right.
That says you are what you do. Right? Consider yourself crucified with Christ to that wisdom.
Yes.
That you're defined by what you do, what you get, what you have. And then when you say it's no longer I who live, it's not that Greg no longer lives. It's not like there is no Greg guy now, and there's just a Jesus bobblehead now, superimposed over me, and that Jesus bobblehead is now living for me. It's that it's that Greg lives, but the life Greg lives now, he no longer lives by the wisdom in the world, but he lives by the faith that came in the person of Jesus.
Right.
So there's a persuasion or a faith that came in Jesus about who and what I am, and what the Father thinks of me.
Mm-hmm.
And now I live my life in that word. The life I live now as Greg, I no longer live by the word in the world about my life, but I live about the word of God about my life.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Does that make sense? So God's got
Yep.
a word about who and what I am.
Yes.
And now I walk in that word. I know the world also has a word about who and what I am. And I don't walk in that word anymore. I don't try to be justified through the good I can do and the bad I can keep from doing. I don't try to create an image of myself by my works that can be so beautiful that when I look upon it, it tells me, you are a son.
Yeah.
Right? I no longer live by that, but I see this guy, God, when I didn't even know he was my father, he come and told me he was my father because he called me son. And this guy said, he's done something to create me in an image that's so full of glory and honor that should I walk by the image he's revealed about me, I'll find myself strengthened in the inner man with peace and love and joy and kindness.
Right.
And so at Living Sacrifice, we were all laboring and toiling to create ourselves in a good image. And he come and did what we couldn't do for ourselves. Right?
Yeah.
He come and died away the thing we were busy with, and he raised up an image of us we can now walk under.
Yes.
And now that's what we live by. His work.
Yeah. Right.
To create us.
Yeah.
As sons and daughters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. The other thing